The sound of shin, meeting flesh, echoes like a gunshot. Bangkok, 1971. The Raja Damirn Stadium. The Cathedral of Muay Thai. Cigarette smoke hangs like fog over 10,000 screaming faces. The smell of tiger balm and sweat and something copper. Blood. There is always blood here. In the ring, a woman fights. They call her the Iron Lotus, Sumjai Katsuai, 24 years old, undefeated in 37 fights. She has broken 14 legs, not metaphorically, literally. 14 fighters have left this ring on stretchers because their shins could not survive hers. She trains by kicking banana trees until they fall, by kicking bamboo until it splinters, by kicking iron pipes until her legs are harder than the metal. Her shins are not bone anymore, they are weapons. Tonight, her opponent lasts 90 seconds. A low kick to the thigh. The man's leg buckles like wet paper. He does not get up. The referee does not bother counting. The crowd chants her name. Sumjai, Sumjai. The Iron Lotus raises her fist. Another victory. Another body carried out. In the back row, a man watches. He has come to Bangkok for a film location scout, but he heard about this fighter, the woman with iron legs, the woman who has never lost. He needed to see for himself. This is Bruce Lee, internal monologue. Her technique is perfect. Her conditioning is inhuman. She has turned her legs into weapons, not through talent, but through suffering. Thousands of kicks against things that do not forgive. She has paid for her power in pain. After the fight, he finds her in the training area behind the stadium. She is wrapping her shins, not because they hurt, but from habit. Her legs are scarred, calcified, more calcium than skin. Your kicks are impressive. She looks up, sees a small Chinese man in a casual shirt. She does not recognize him. Who are you? A student. I came to watch. Students sit in the cheap seats. Her eyes narrow. You sat where trainers sit. You are not a student. You are a fighter. Bruce Lee smiles. I was. Now I make movies. Movies? She laughs. The laugh of someone who breaks bones for a living. Movie fighters are dancers. They kick air, I kick bones. There are different kinds of strength. No, there is only one kind, the kind that breaks things. She stands, 5'8", legs like concrete pillars. I break things. That is what I do. She steps closer, sizing him up, the way a predator sizes up prey. They say you are fast, the Chinese movie star who moves like water. They say many things. Are you fast enough to stop this? She does not wait for an answer. Her leg rises, slow, deliberate, a demonstration. The calf is ridged with scar tissue. The shin is discolored from years of microfractures, healed into armor. This kick has broken 14 bones. She lets the leg hang in the air, a promise, a threat. Would you like to be number 15? Bruce Lee looks at her leg, at the scars, at the ridges of bone visible beneath the skin. I did not come here to fight. Everyone comes here to fight. This is Bangkok, this is Muay Thai. She lowers her leg. Fighting is what we breathe. The training area has grown quiet. Other fighters have stopped their routines. Heavy bags hang motionless. They sense something happening. The Iron Lotus does not talk to strangers. The Iron Lotus breaks them. Your conditioning, Bruce Lee says. How long? Since I was 8 years old. Kicking trees, kicking stone, kicking anything that would not move. She rolls her ankle. The shin makes a sound like knuckles cracking. The bone has been broken and healed so many times, it is no longer bone. It is iron. Internal monologue. She is not boasting. She is stating fact. But conditioning is not everything. A hammer is hard, but a hammer can still miss, and a hammer that misses destroys only itself. Impressive, Bruce Lee says. Painful. Effective. It is not training. It is transformation. She taps her shin. The sound is hollow, dense. I am not the woman I was born as. I rebuilt myself. Kick by kick, bone by bone. And if someone does not break, the question hangs in the air like smoke. Everyone breaks. Her voice is flat, certain. I have kicked karate champions, boxers, men twice your size. They all break. Perhaps they did not know how to receive. Her eyes sharpen, the first crack in her certainty. Receive? You think there is a way to receive this? Hong Kong, 1965. A rooftop. Young Bruce practices against a wooden dummy. The arms swing. He blocks, forearm to forearm. You are blocking wrong, Ip Man says. But I stopped the strike. You stopped wood. Wood does not feel pain. What happens when the attacker is flesh and bone? Silence. Bruce has never considered this. Your body is soft, but soft can become hard. harder than what strikes it. Water is soft. Water breaks mountains, not by resisting, by letting force destroy itself. He taps Bruce's knee. This joint. When someone kicks, they give you a weapon. The knee is not a wall. The knee is a blade. Learn to receive the gift and return it. I know how to receive, Bruce Lee says. The Iron Lotus stares at him. 16 years of breaking bones, 37 fights. No one has ever said this to her. No one has ever looked at her legs and not flinched. You are either very brave or very stupid. Perhaps both. Then prove it. She steps back, creates distance, 4 feet between them. One kick, full power. If you can stand, I will admit you are not a movie dancer. And if I cannot stand, you will not stand. No one stands. She drops into her stance, left leg forward, right leg coiled like a spring. But you will have a good story. The day I was broken by the Iron Lotus. The other fighters have formed a circle. Trainers emerge from back rooms. Someone is already calling for a medic. Bruce Lee looks at the leg, at the woman, at the certainty in her eyes. The same certainty that has carried her through 37 victories. He shifts his weight, slightly. His right knee angles outward, not a fighting stance. Something else, something she has never seen. One kick. She loads her leg. The muscles coil. 16 years of conditioning, focused into one limb. Do not blame me for what happens next. The Iron Lotus breathes. Once, twice. The breath of a weapon being loaded. Her right leg rises, knee to chest, coiled ready. The motion is beautiful, mechanical. She has thrown this kick 10,000 times. Her body knows it better than her mind. Bruce Lee does not move. His weight is shifted. His right knee angled outward. His hands relaxed at his sides. He looks like a man waiting for a bus. Internal monologue. She will aim for my thigh. Destroy the foundation. That is her method. But she does not know what I know. The knee is not a wall. The knee is a blade, and a blade does not block. It cuts. The kick comes. Full power. Full commitment. 16 years of conditioning. 10,000 hours of kicking trees and bamboo and iron. The rotation of her hips. The snap of her shin. All of it focused into one point. One moment. Her shin meets his knee. The sound is wrong. Not the wet slap of flesh. Not the crack of a leg buckling. Something else. Something sharper. Like a branch snapping in a frozen forest. The Iron Lotus screams. She collapses. Not at the hip. At the shin. The bone has cracked. The iron she built kick by kick has met something it could not break. Her own power, redirected, has fractured her own leg. Bruce Lee has not moved. His knee is in the same position. His hands still at his sides. He looks down at the woman on the ground, and his face shows no triumph, only sadness. The training room explodes. Fighters rush forward. Someone shouts for ice. Someone drags a stretcher from the corner. Internal monologue. She gave me all her power. I did not absorb it. I redirected it. Her shin was iron, but iron is brittle. It cannot bend, and what cannot bend, breaks. Bruce Lee kneels beside her. Your shin is fractured, not shattered. You will heal. She looks up through tears of pain and shock, her face twisted, not just from the injury, but from the impossibility. Your kick was perfect. Your conditioning was perfect. But you were aiming at a wall. He touches his knee. This is not a wall. It is an edge. You kicked an edge with all your strength. I have kicked everything. Trees, stone, iron pipes, but never a knee that wanted to be kicked. She does not understand. The pain is too great. The confusion too deep. I did not block, Bruce Lee says softly. I received. I angled the bone, so your force had nowhere to go, except back into your own leg. You did not hit me. You hit yourself, through me. He looks at her shin, at the fracture that will take months to heal, at the end of her undefeated record, not because she was beaten, but because she beat herself. 37 fights, 14 broken legs. You thought you were unbreakable. He stands. But the hardest things are the most brittle. You built yourself into iron. Iron shatters. He pauses, looks down at her with something that might be respect, might be pity, might be both. I built myself into water. Water endures. The medics arrive. They lift her onto the stretcher. She is still staring at him, at the small man who did not move, did not strike, did not fight, who simply stood still and let her power destroy itself. When you heal, he says, find a new teacher. Learn to bend. Your power is incredible, but power without flexibility is a weapon that kills its wielder. The training room is silent. 20 fighters stand in a circle. They have seen the impossible. The Iron Lotus. The woman who broke bones carried out on a stretcher, her own shin fractured against a movie star's knee. No one speaks. No one knows what to say. Bruce Lee walks toward the exit. His knee is untouched. Not a bruise, not a scratch, not a mark to show that the most dangerous leg in Thailand just struck it with full force. An old trainer stops him. 70 years old. Face like cracked leather. 50 years of Muay Thai. How did you do that? Bruce Lee stops. I did nothing. She did everything. But your knee. She kicks iron pipes. Nothing has ever. Her conditioning made her shin hard. But hard is not the same as strong. He turns to face the old man. Strong bends. Strong adapts. Strong survives. Hard only breaks. The old man frowns. You knew she would hurt herself. I knew she would hit what she was not prepared for. Bruce Lee's voice is soft. A knee is a joint. It moves. It angles. It redirects force instead of absorbing it. She trained to break things that resist. I did not resist. I redirected. Her power had nowhere to go, except back into her own bone. The old man considers this. 50 years of training fighters to be hard, to be iron, to break things, and now this. You could have warned her. I tried. She did not listen. No pride in Bruce Lee's voice, only truth. When someone is certain they cannot lose, they cannot hear warnings. They hear only their own certainty, until it breaks. He walks out into the Bangkok night. The sound of the stadium fades behind him. Somewhere inside, a woman is learning that iron is not enough. 6 months later, a letter arrived at Bruce Lee's office in Hong Kong. Thai postmark. No return address. Inside, a photograph. The Iron Lotus, standing again, her leg healed. But she is not in a fighting stance. She stands in Wing Chun position, soft, balanced, learning to be water. A note, written in careful English. You broke me, but you also freed me. I spent 16 years building iron. Now I am learning to become water. Thank you for the gift. Sumjai. Bruce Lee smiled. He pinned the photograph to his wall. Visitors would ask about it. Who is the woman? A teacher. She taught you Muay Thai? She taught me that the hardest victory is helping someone lose. The Iron Lotus never fought professionally again, but she opened a training camp outside Bangkok. A different kind of camp. One that taught conditioning and flexibility, hardness and softness, iron and water. Her students learned to kick trees and to yield, to build bone and to bend, to strike with power and to receive with wisdom. They won championships across Asia, 12 national titles, 3 world champions. None of them ever broke a bone in the ring. And above the entrance to her camp, a sign hung in Thai and English. The strongest leg is not the one that breaks things. It is the one that cannot be broken. Hardness is a wall. Softness is a door. Walls crumble. Doors remain. The greatest fighters do not build themselves into weapons. They build themselves into answers,